Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. If you enjoy these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Watchbox Reviews. I would really appreciate it and I promise to update daily. If you love this watch, you can see it and you can purchase it on our website, thewatchbox.com. Today we are discussing a lovely take on the IWC Pilot's Watch Mark 18. This is the IWC Pilot's Watch Mark 18 Edition Le Petit Prince, reference 3270-10, stainless steel and 40mm. This is a timepiece that bowed back in 2016, and it's a perfect all-arounder, a watch with just enough water resistance to swim, plenty of lume for the night, and elegance and discretion suitable for both sporting occasions and formal attire. A watch that is beautifully fit to my 16cm circumference wrist. Its dominant dimension, though 40mm, is the lug-to-lug span, where it has a surprising wingspan of 51.1mm. For that reason, I wouldn't necessarily recommend this watch for a wrist smaller than 14cm in circumference, but above that size, you should be alright. My wrist is 16, and you can see this one in proportion. The lugs do curve around the wrist a little bit, mitigating lug overlap if your wrist is borderline. It's a slim watch, 11.1mm thick with a sloped conical bezel. It will slide underneath a formal dress cuff, so if you have a tight dress shirt, exotics such as French cuffs, you're going to be alright. 20mm is the lug spacing, which is a nice traditional size that makes this watch look quasi-vintage, and it also gives you a universe of aftermarket and OEM options in the 20mm size range. The strap is substantial. It's a sheer cut calfskin in dark brown with a little bit of an ecru off-white monotone stitch. You can see it's got a sort of eggshell color to it, and the timepiece with a distinct contrast on the bottom. Now this is where you really see the contrasting stitch and the contrasting color. IWC Santoni straps made for them by the Richemont-owned Italian leather specialists, and the signature, the signal orange of Santoni, not visible when the watch is on the wrist, but it is a buttery smooth cut of leather top and bottom. The buckle itself is handsome, simple, and easily adjustable. It's also surprisingly nuanced. There's a little revetment for the pin inside the buckle. You can see the pin is polished, the buckle is satin finished. It has some polished facets on its flank, which gives way to satin on its side, and there's an unexpected kinked facet on the flank of this piece. It is anything but a default design, and thoughtfully high polished on the bottom. That's a surprisingly extensive roster of details for what many brands will simply call a default part and order off the shelf. Now you can see the case itself is simple but strong. The horizontal is slim and arcing. It's also remarkably extensive, as it does have that 51mm lug-to-lug span without being girthy. There's a surprisingly subtle polished hairline bevel that fades at the mid-case, but it graces the edge of the tapered and flared lugs. There's a crown, which features no crown guards for easy access. You can see the IWC logo on top, and then there's a double step. You can see there's a small vertical portion of the bezel that is satin finished. It gives way to a conical portion that is all of high polish. This rings a dial, which is in sunburst blue, consistent with the edition Le Petit Prince, and of course the Antoine de Saint-Exupéry models feature a brown bronze sunburst, the Prince always blue. White on blue print makes this an easy one to see night or day. There's plenty of lume, the contrast is high, and the printing is deep and pronounced. You'll also note that there is a date disc at 3 o'clock, which replaces the 3 o'clock index, broadsword style hands at center, counterweighted lancet style seconds hand. Screw the crown out. It is a screw down crown. Now withdraw it, and you see there is a stop seconds function, and there is also a quick set date function for rapidly cycling the date should the watch run down or encounter an irregular length month. The case back is screwed in and solid, featuring an image of our hero, Antoine de Saint-Exupéry's most memorable literary character, and you can see he's nicely embossed on the case back, a combination of frosted and polished detailing. 60 meters water resistant with screwed in case back and screw down crown. This is a swimmable watch. There's a soft iron cage over the movement itself, which also lends it significant anti-magnetic capability, and a unique feature, it's actually secured against explosive decompression. So if you are in an aeronautical environment like a cabin or a cockpit that explosively loses its pressurization, you won't lose the case back, the seals, or the crystal of this watch. Inside, IWC caliber 35111. What is it? Well, it's a Sellita SW300, essentially a high-grade Sellita version of a ETA 2892. So it's a slim movement for a slim watch, 42-hour power reserve, bidirectional automatic winding, 4 Hz beat rate, quick set, as well as stop seconds, and it's a tough machine because I once crashed an ETA 2892 at 20 miles an hour on a bike. It was still ticking after the crash even though I wasn't. So while it's a thin movement, it's also a pretty tough movement. An impressive level of specification for a simple watch. Given the price of this timepiece, it might be the most appealing and compelling option in the entire IWC catalog. A sports watch that easily turns dresser when you need it. This is the IWC Mark 18 Petit Prince. See it, make it yours on the watch box. IWC Pilot's Watch Mark 18 Petit Prince. Plenty of lume by night.